Hello, welcome to After Work Adventurers. These are my wonderful adventurers. Um, I think we'll leave the intros for the end. I kind of like that.
Oh, yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, so we'll leave the intros to the end. If you listen all the way through, you'll learn who these people are. But in the at the, to start the last game, we were you started in a room with that crab person, and you decided that you were gonna head kind of down on the map. You push the door open, a cool breeze floats past you. You start going down a downward sloping, rather narrow hall. You find yourself at some stairs. You go down the stairs, open, and you're in a kind of another muddy room. This room a little bit colder than the room upstairs. You see that there are broken pillars scattered throughout this room, and there's one pillar toward the back of the room that remains intact. It has a little triangular figure on it. As you start making your way into the room, Dr. Jones is the first one to get assaulted as something falls from the ceiling and hits him on the shoulder before sinking into the mud. You all start looking around, trying to figure out what's going on, and Aeris sees what looks like the culprit, a potato-shaped looking icicle thing, slowly scrunching its way out of the muddy water and up the wall. Aeris calls attention to it. You all take a look. Dr. Ford is hesitant to step into the room, but eventually does at the behest of Dr. Jones. She puts her shield up, walks into the room before thunk. Another one of these potato things hits her shield. She looks and sees it's basically a stalactite with a little claw for a mouth. She kind of shakes it off, keeps walking. You all look at it. You see that it has moon and star images in it, and as Ares is looking over it, he feels some memories come back to him of the shrine that he had been at, and realizes that it looks like this one last stand, this one last little uh, plinth is similarly designed. And as everyone is looking over it, Dr. Ford decides to look around and sees a little bat hanging out in the rafters of the room. Tries to communicate with it, but in reply, it just flutters away. You all decide to leave the room. Ares, kind of following last, actually pockets the little item that was standing on the thing. You go down the second door at the other end of this room. You go down a skinny hallway, you turn, and halfway down this following hallway, you see that there's a large statue of a male figure with arms stretched out and a kind of plate held in his arms, and what looks like the handle of a sword kind of tucked behind the statue. Ares jumps up to try to see what's going on and to see if there's anything written on the top of the slab. When the whole thing falls forward, Ares manages to nimbly kind of get out of the way without taking any damage, falls, rolls, pops back up. Ares and Dr. Ford bend in close to get a good look at the sword to see if it's triggered or trapped in any way, when all of a sudden they see two short, stubby hands reach in, grab the hilt, and start stepping back as Shorty pulls the full length of this long sword out of his sheath, holds it up, almost nicking Octavia, the journalist who's been with you from the start, and now he's got the sword. All of you decide after looking around to follow this newly revealed path. You go up, you make a left, you go down, you see there's a door, you open it, and you all find yourselves in a hallway where there is some room coming down, and just across the hall from you, you see doors that look bloated and kind of bowing out toward you. They look water damaged. Gulliver with the short patience comes through, throws his axe right into the middle of it, and that's all it takes for this water-sogged door to break at the seam. You all hear a mighty crack as the axe kind of hitting the door causes a mighty splintering of the door straight up and down. The door slams open. All of you are hit with water as this overflowing room kind of explodes outward. Some of you washing up the hall, some of you getting pushed back. in this like impact of water, Shorty is knocked over backwards. The sword gets pushed out of his hand, goes flying upward toward the hall. Also, during this exploration, Aeris goes up to hear the little door at the top and hears a little faint melody. But as he comes down to engage with everyone at the moment of impact, you all stand up, you look in, and you see the room is still full with water, and only the water that was above the ground level from where you're standing was emptied, but there is still more water down below. So Gulliver trudges on through, taking some acid damage as it starts to eat through his pants and kind of start to burn his skin a little bit. He manages to open the door on the other side, release, and with the help of Ford, using some magic to hold the water back, uh, Gulliver manages to open the door, and then Dr. Ford nimbly creates a funnel through which the water flows between Gulliver's legs down the hallway, keeping Gulliver from taking any more acid damage. But in the time it took for this water to empty out down the hallway, you all did take a little bit of extra poison damage from the air. You continue now. Once the water is emptied out, you cross the room, find yourselves in this little hallway. You track back down and find yourselves facing another door. Gulliver opens it, but not before the rest of the group stands way the fuck back to avoid any additional damage, now that Gulliver has a track record of causing damage every time he opens a door. He opens the door, but nothing happens. You all see a room ahead of you, which I'm going to reread the description of. And again, this description is intended to be read as if you were coming from the other end, but you guys kind of circumvented and you're coming through from behind. So I'm deciphering this as it goes, but the doors to this room are made of bronze and are tinted blue with oxidation. Just inside the door, as you open the door and you look in, you see on the far side of the room there are two small alcoves. And from this point of view, from this vantage point on the stairs looking across, it looks like in the darkness you can see that there are two small fountains on the other side. Before you, there's a short hall. Just in front of you, you see that there are steps going down into the main chambers. But the room is totally flooded, and you see that all of the water from that previous room that you let out, that Dr. Ford had funneled between Gulliver's legs, has funneled down and into this room, further flooding it. So there's now a few feet of water. You also see on the wall to your left, there is a dark foul pool covering the entire floor. That is the flooded water. A central hall flanked by narrow aisles is divided by two rows of massive square columns. You can kind of see those on the map just ahead of you. There are some columns there, right here. And they look like they're almost completely submerged, but they poke out of the water. In the darkness, on the eastern wall, which is this wall here, appears to be an enormous growth of an overall greenish hue that gives off the same silvery gleam as the slime trails that Dr. Jones had witnessed in the hall before you went around and got hit with the water and came back this way. Do we have any questions about location? Anything you want to add to the story thus far? Anything that you need refreshing on for like the bigger story as a whole? In terms of like, what do you guys all remember why you're here to begin with? Who employed you? What you're looking for?
Only
I have
sort
a
of.
question. Okay, I just have a quick question about what is this thing, and then what are
What's
these
what? Oh,
little guys? If that's even like matters on the map. I'm trying to visualize the entire description, but like it was so much stuff.
yeah.
So there was something on this wall,
Yeah, so
but
on
this
this
middle thing
eastern
is
wall, yeah, so on the eastern wall, you
Mm-hmm.
see an enormous growth that seems to be covered with a greenish hue, similar to the glowing slime trails from the previous hallway. In the middle, two corroded bronze braziers stand in the pool before you. So that would be these two things here. These are the corroded braziers, which are mostly
Ah.
submerged. And in the center is I believe, a fountain as well. I'm just double checking. 2 broken urns poke up through the water. Yeah. So yeah, we'll say the middle thing is a fountain because it's not actually clearly delineated what this is.
Okay.
Around the fountain,
I
just
just
an
more
alcove.
I'm trying to figure it out. So I maybe that will help. So Aeris, since he's the parkour guy, he is already like noticing things that are covered in acid, and if there's any like perchable points that he can jump on and try to balance. So that's why I was asking, what are those things? If you can point me to the things that he would be able to kind of like jump on and trying to balance to stay above the mucky water.
Mm-hmm.
Because assuming from experience, it's probably again acidic. Um, so this is kind of where I'm going. So if you point
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
where the things
So,
are like, I can jump on it.
okay. Yeah. We will say that in the center here is a broken kind of statue, fountain looking statue in the middle. And then these 2 braziers are submerged in water. You can't see how well the foundation is to know if they would hold a person, but everything in here looks weakened by the corrosive acid. Just for a moment, just imagine this room is almost totally dark. What you see ahead of you are two square columns rising up into the ceiling. It smells foul. It smells mildewy and musty and slightly stingy from the poisonous air. Cass, what you see before you are the shadow reliefs of what look like 2 small braziers kind of coming up out of the water. Behind them is what looks like a broken statue. And then you see a mass on the eastern wall, on the wall to the left toward the middle. It is massive and round and has you see like glowing veins through it that match the glowing veins throughout the rest of the room and also match the glowing veins that were going through the wall where you saw the statue that fell.
Were these veins sort of in evidence throughout the entire?
No, you only saw them once you got down to the hallway that had the statue that fell over.
Gotcha. And my question was going to be more about like why we're here or what Gulliver might know about that. I know that we were going to investigate, like, for kind of a mixture of academic purposes and mysterious purposes from some kind of emissary, and then we fell into a hole.
Correct. So basically, Dr. Jones walked into his room, and there was someone in the room who informed them that they'd finally managed to locate a hidden shrine that they had been looking for over a year. And thanks to basically like an embed in a local small, like, recluse community, they managed to to pinpoint the location. And it was a matter of who gets there first, you guys or the bad guys. Gaston Chevalier and his team. And the goal was to get here, do full recon, collect what you can, save any magic items you can from being destroyed or abducted by Gaston. And so you guys are here walking through a dilapidated ancient shrine. You are the first people to walk through this space in who knows how long, maybe since the shattering, post-shattering, which is the major event that happened over a century ago. And no one really knows when you began this journey. No one really knew what this shrine was for. They just knew that it was a significant location that was dedicated to one of the gods. When you guys arrived on site, you met with a dwarf and with a human, and Dr. Jones was able to figure out that the shrine is likely dedicated to Namtar based on recognizing some of the symbols that had been etched on the outside of the building that they were able to see from afar. And so you guys started walking toward it when you fell through a sinkhole basically several levels down, and now you've been exploring this place. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
And I see from where I'm standing any using my dark vision, because I know the room's pretty dim. Can I see a spot where water is entering this room, where like the cause of the flooding might be?
So, as you've been walking through the hall, you've seen water kind of slipping through the cracks, almost always coming from above. And based on the dense rainfall and the fact that this is a jungle above ground, you're able to discern, or likely into that, in tune that the water coming here is just seeping water from above ground. However, once you left the room with the crab and you started coming, it's all been downhill from there. Like all of the floors kind of go at a downward hill. You went down several layers of stairs, and so it is likely that this is the lowest, one of the low points of the dungeon, and water will always go toward the lowest point. So all of the water has been basically collecting here, with the exception of the room that you guys kind of broke into, where the room was trapped because of the doors. Water was flowing in, but only a little bit was flowing out. And so you guys broke down those doors, and now all that excess water, again, going the path of least resistance, has flowed itself down to collect into this space.
Is it safe to say that it's like we're getting the sense of that this entire dungeon is more like an ant's nest, when there's like basically pockets of rooms on a different like layers? Sort of. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's not just like we fell in and we're exploring in one plane. It's all kind of like
You not necessarily an anthill where you've got like all these little rooms in different layers. You are all basically
it's
on the
different
bottom
layers,
floor. You're all like on the like. You can tell that you've landed. You went straight through to the bottommost, like the pit of this, the deepest part of this, and now this is likely like the bottom of this layer. So it's not like you guys are like several stories down. You've only gone down a little few steps here, a little few steps there. So it's all like one floor. It's just slightly different altitudes.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so like for example, the stairs that you took to get from where the crab was into the room where you guys met with those piercers and that statue, that was 6 or 7 steps. The steps that lead ahead of you into the room are another 5 or 6 steps. So it's not like like flights and flights. It's just a few steps here, a few steps there, a few downward sloping paths here and there, not like a full like sub level.
Okay, that's actually great. Cool.
Okay, so you're now in this room.
Do
Aeris,
we see across the room?
you
I'm trying
can.
to figure it out if I have dark vision on, because I was supposed to. Yeah, so.
I do believe you do, but I'll double check. I'll double check.
I don't know where to
No, that's a me thing. Vision, dark vision. Yeah, you have dark vision for 60 feet. So what you see is what you see.
Okay, cool. So I can't see the end of the room yet.
Correct. So you can see in your vision, you see there's the circle of color. That is what is illuminated thanks to whoever might have like a light spell on. Beyond that, you can see the grayscale. That's your dark vision.
Oh yeah, there is an actual like edge to it. Okay, cool. So Aeris will turn to. So I'm assuming like nobody was talking and everyone's just looking and looking.
Everyone's
and assessing.
rubbernecking in the room. What do you see? What do you see?
What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? So Aeris will turn and so I don't see anything at the end yet, so I'm assuming it's a pretty big space. Should I go and try to get on the rubble of the statue to see if there's what's further down the room?
Oh, we have come all this way. I'm very curious about that massive thing on the wall.
Are you guys whispering or are you talking normally? Just out of curiosity.
I am whispering.
I wouldn't scream, but I wouldn't whisper
Softly
either. It's kind of
spoken,
like
okay.
a softly.
Yeah, definitely because I can't see the whole room. I'm definitely not just
Mm-hmm.
hey, what do you think's in here, guys? You know,
Look at
Yeah,
would
but
you
I
look
also,
at that?
I'm not whispering
Keep it down
because
a
there's a
little bit.
lot of people, so I would assume I softly talked so everyone like
I
heard it.
imagine
But
Aries is a softly spoken person in
oh
general.
yeah,
Like I can imagine.
he's like, yeah, he wouldn't talk as I normally talk for
Yeah.
sure.
Arabella's pretty quiet.
Mhm.
She's not a big noisemaker.
Well, Dr. Jones, who doesn't have dark vision, is like, large mass? Because he can't see what you're talking about.
Oh, that's true because
I-
he's not in the
I'd
room.
I'd like to do something kind of creative.
Yeah, please,
Um,
please
Me
do all the
too.
creative
Me
things.
too. Okay, you
So I
first.
don't,
Okay.
because light spells aren't concentration spells, so I can have a couple things lit up at once. It really doesn't matter. It's a cantrip.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I would like to light up a crossbow bolt, and I would like to shoot it, not at the thing, but like to that side of the room, trying to aim for just sort of an innocent corner for the bolt to just sort of fall in, or maybe a
Okay.
piece of wall for it to stick in, and then that'll
Okay.
be a little glow
What
stick
if we
for
tie a
us.
rope to
Okay.
it and it will stick to the wall and we can use the rope?
That's a lovely idea.
Let's
Can
do
I
it.
try that?
Yeah.
Can I try to? I don't know if that works mechanically with a crossbow.
So
Hmm.
there's two things to consider. One is
Hmm.
the walls are corrosive. So anything that
Yeah.
is embedded in or tied to a wall won't last a very long time before it starts to weaken and
That's fair.
eventually fail. The second thing is that you'd be trying to embed an arrow into stone wall. So the DC to make sure that that arrowhead is wedged so deeply that it would withstand like humanoid weight is real fucking high. So I just
48.
want to make sure
Yeah.
you guys understand that.
I
And
wanna
it's
try
again,
anyway.
it's a timed thing. Oh shit, I forgot my dice. Okay, go ahead. You want to try it?
Yeah, I won't not to create a hang line, but to shoot a glow stick across the room, basically.
But you're attaching a rope to it?
No. I'm just gonna use a light
Oh, no.
spell, holding a crossbow bolt, and I'll put it in my crossbow and I'll shoot it like
Oh, you casting light spell on the on the bolt, and so you can
on the
cast the light
bolt,
on. Ah,
and I'll
that's
shoot
awesome.
it
Okay.
I'll shoot it like that way, basically.
Okay.
I don't know what is that way, but that is the line that I will be shooting it.
Okay. Just give me 1 second to see if I can figure out how to. Oh, okay, cool.
Shoot into the darkness.
I
Ow!
want to
I
try
want how to
some.
add a light source.
I want to try something
So
cool
you
because
fire off.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's where you want to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just shooting it in a straight line, so whatever it, I'm hoping
Can
it
you
hits.
Can you show me
kind of
where you
piece of
wanted to
wall.
put it again?
Yeah,
Because
I'll
you're
get-
also you're gonna fire over Gulliver's head and like
Oh, I mean,
lean
I'd like to
forward and
think.
like
Could I politely
ricochet.
Gulliver
trade
duck.
places? Yeah, could I politely trade places with Gulliver so I can get a clear view?
Right, so 5, 10, 15, 20. All right.
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you-
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
god, I've been talking this whole time. It was not working.
We'll get
My
it.
bad, bro.
It wasn't the
We'll
mute to
figure it out.
talk. It was I think it was acting up, and I fixed
Alright.
it. I have a question before you
Please.
do all that. Did you described the room? I think I missed something. Was something wrong with the floor?
It's submerged in water.
Got it.
The bad-
Okay,
That,
and how
that
far?
acidic water. Acidic water.
How far to the other side?
You
We don't
can't
know
see
yet.
the other side from where you are. Although now, with Octavia shooting that arrow 60 feet, you guys can now see some stairs on the other side.
Can we see the big giant mass though?
I mean, your token's vision is your token's vision. Can you see it when you click on the mask? Can you see it? You can see that there is a bulbous thing that glowing stuffs. But based on where the light arrow went, it did not illuminate the bulbous
Okay.
thing.
So I can't see it.
But you do hear when the arrow thuds,
Uh-oh.
you hear a mild squelching sound. And you can see little silver lines seem like they start to move just a little bit.
Wait, where?
Sure.
So I
Where?
avoid that area.
The squelching thing, the thing on the wall. You hear like a
Oh.
squelching, and you see it move just a little bit now that with the sound and the light in the area.
Did I hit
I
it?
thought it was a
Or
plant.
is it reacting to the sound?
I don't know. You just have to. I'm just
Alright.
telling you what you hear and you see. If you want to roll an insight to see if you can get a gut check on it, or perception, or whatever you want to roll.
I think there are 2 Gullivers on the map.
Are there? My
Yeah,
bad.
there's 2.
Mhm.
Too many.
Nice.
There's too many.
I think
Hell
my
yeah,
vision
brother.
is doubling.
Oh, I don't know.
All right,
Does
I'm
that
gonna
mean
leave you
there's a
guys to
changeling
discuss
among us?
tactics. I'm gonna go get my dice. You guys go discuss your tactics, and then when I come back, let me know what your plan of attack is.
Does that extra Gulliver mean there's a changeling among us?
Yoink.
We don't need that right now. We have enough problems.
We
Okay.
just point at each
I-
other meme.
I want to try something, but I need to check how this spell works.
do you
Because I don't
wanna
want to
do?
cast
Okay,
it and be like, oh no, that's not. I should have not done that.
The idea I had, and I was just gonna say it, but I didn't know how far it was. Fastball special?
Don't mind if I do.
Are you
I know what
you
that
out
means.
of your
That sounds familiar. Why don't I know that reference?
Would you like me to tell you?
Yes.
It's what it was X-Men and sorry, X-Men. Wolverine and Colossus move. Wolverine we get thrown by Colossus. How about you throw Shorty over with a rope?
I don't know if you can throw him 80 feet.
the
That'd be
fighting
very
That's what I was
impressive.
asking. I didn't know how I
Yeah.
didn't know how far the distance was.
Maybe
But
to
then,
the
when I
middle.
realized I mean, I don't know.
the,
But then
the
she said it
moment
was squelching, and I don't know if I want squelching.
the moment they were talking about how far things were, I was thinking similar thing, but I wasn't thinking the fastball special. I was thinking from Lord of the Rings when Gimli can't make the jump. He's like, ultimate.
You're gonna have to toss me, but don't tell the elf. All right. What's the plan? Do you have a plan yet?
I
I'm
have
checking my spell.
another. I have an
Okay.
idea related to the rope, the roped across the room idea.
Okay.
The doors. Do I remember? Because we saw these doors from the other side of the room, and I
Mhm.
feel like I'm smart enough to know that we were on the other side of this room before. when we
Naturally,
were in
yes.
The hallway.
Yes.
Because of her amazing sense of direction. Were those doors wood? Dang.
The doors of this room are of bronze and are tinted blue from oxidation.
Okay, so I cannot put a crossbow bolt into bronze. That's not going to happen.
You can try. It'd be very hard. You can
That's
try.
20! Let's go!
mean-
First roll, that's 20, and you can do it.
You just gotta shoot it
Um,
really, 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 really hard.
And also,
With
remember, please
Manifest
also
it.
remember from the mechanics of the day, there is a failure consequence for bad rolls.
Yeah.
Yep.
You took a chance.
I know, I'm just
Well,
so
Mhm.
excited to do
well.
some stuff.
I know, but I'm just,
So here's the thing. I
don't
need to
kill you.
ask
You kill
technical
yourselves.
question. I need to ask technical question to a DM about levitate spell.
Okay. Ask me.
From what I understood, because the writing, I'm like, my brain is not computing. It elevates 20 feet. And then I use my action to move if I want to do side by side by pushing myself like off something. Like I'm pushing myself off something. And that takes an action or a movement.
Okay.
And then
Casting time
yeah.
is one action. One creature you choose that you can see within range rises vertically 20 feet and remains suspended for the duration. The spell can levitate a target up to 500 pounds. The target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface, which allows it to move as if it were climbing. You can change the target's altitude. If you are the target, you can move up or down as part of your move. Otherwise, you can use your action to move the target, which must remain within the spell's range. So basically, when you levitate, as I'm reading it, the only thing you can control is the altitude. If that thing, person, whatever you choose to levitate, needs to move on a vertical plane, they have to. It's almost like they become like in space, and they have to like push themselves off something
Yeah.
in order
Okay.
to create that
And would
that movement.
would that be an action to do so? Or we just
Yes.
say okay, cool. I just
Yeah.
wanted to.
I would say that's an action, but technically we're not really in combat right now.
No, what
So
if combat starts? So I
So-
need to know.
oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. I like it.
I'm like,
I appreciate you. I appreciate your thinking. This makes my heart warm.
we're not yet,
Well-
but who the fuck knows? Okay.
Well,
cool.
how about this? You cast levitate. You have, I assume Gulliver is the strongest. Shove you across the room, and if we need to bring you back, we'll just tie a rope to you and
I
just
was
in case
thinking
it pops
even
off,
cooler.
ripcord
I was
back.
thinking, I was thinking even cooler. I have a movable rod, so I was thinking Ninja Warrior. When they basically have the thing, they push themselves off of it to jump to the next thing, which is usually the bars, right? So imagine if I have my finger on a button, and I basically do the Ninja Warrior, unbutton it so it moves with me, and then I press it again, so I'm just like holding on and it's not moving again. So I'm like, how crazy I want to go? Levitate or movable rod or both? But
Let's
Aeris actually is asking, so what are we trying to do? Are we trying to get to the other side?
I don't like the look of that big gushy thing.
So are we trying to avoid it or are we trying to poke it?
Poke's one word for it.
I mean, given we're here to understand what is here. Okay, I could do something. I think we're at the lowest point of this shrine. So I think it makes some sense. Player, okay, there's a bit of metagamey, but player to group of players judgment call question. I have one last third level spell. I used the other one on remove curse, which was
Okay.
effective back in the room where we fought the angry Batman. Shall I use my last third level spell slot?
No, I have bull bearings. I can just throw I have 1,000 of them. So basically Aeris like, how about we just, instead of poking, we can just throw this at him, and he opens like a pouch and there's just it's full of little metal balls spheres that he can throw.
Ball
So he's like
bearings.
ball bearing.
I mean, if you're gonna start by, some kind of projectile, why not just shoot it?
Well, that might hurt it. The bull
I
just
feel
will
like-
poke it.
I want a closer look.
Should we
I'm
talk?
going to-
Well, we'll talk. Yeah, let's
I
talk.
can
to it.
levitate you.
You can levitate. Oh,
You.
you can do that. That's interesting.
You wanna?
Okay. If it's
And
not
he
too
just-
much trouble.
Naturally, I can, and you see, like his hair's constantly has like this wave to it. Like there's
Yeah.
always air going through it. Weirdly enough, there's no air. Like there's no wind in the room.
You're
when he's
underwater.
there.
Yeah.
It looks like there's always like a wind blowing through the hair.
If you can levitate me, I can try to speak with it.
We can do that. So
Um,
are we cool?
Dr.
Shot. Yeah.
Let's
Dr.
go.
Jones pulls out some rope and he's like, tie this onto you. In case it attacks, we can bring you back.
Alright, I like
Good
that.
idea. So you may all know, you could just look at my character sheet and know this, but your party players don't know this. I have one that spell slot. I could cast Water Walk, and all of us can just walk around this room like it's solid ground, and we won't take any damage off the acidy floor per the spell, because it says you can walk on acid as if it is non-damaging solid ground.
It's basically,
I only
think of
got
it, you
one of
have like
those.
a little like layer, so you're
Yeah.
hydrophobic. You're hydrophobic. You're just not touching it. I love that.
It's up to 10 creatures, so I could give to all of us. And
How
it lasts
long?
like an
How
hour.
long does it last? And is it a concentration?
I think it's an
It's
hour, and I
8
believe it is
It's no, I think it's
concentration.
8 hours.
It is 1
happens if
hour,
you
and
trip?
it is
Oh,
1 hour, and it is not concentration.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could walk on
It's a really good
acid,
spell.
mud, snow, quicksand, or lava as if it was harmless solid ground. Although if it is lava, you do take heat damage because that radiates. But everything else is harmless.
I like the idea of walking on llamas.
What if you trip? What happens if you trip?
Llamas? I heard llamas.
That's what I said.
Llamas, yeah.
Okay.
What did you say, Bueno?
What happens if you trip?
Then you tripping. And
No,
if you
you
trip, then you
it's
tripping.
nothing. You're just
think-
hydrophobic.
Yeah, I think you just. It doesn't technically say walk. It says the ability to move across any liquid surface. So I think
You
in
can
theory
slide.
you could crawl and it would still be true to the spell.
I love that. Oh my god, we need to do
But
that.
anyway, yeah,
just
I'll
to
save
make
it unless we all need to jump into the room. But for now, maybe the levitation thing
So
is easier.
yeah, so Aeris does this like weird hand movement, and you start feeling weightless, and you go 20 feet up.
Oh, this is so weird. Oh, okay. Someone push me. Don't push me too hard.
Wait, the rope, the rope.
The rope. She's tying the rope frantically around her waist, feeling very unsettled.
Don't drop in the water. We don't want to burn the rope.
This is
off.
true.
That's gonna be sad.
Gulliver, give
Yes,
me a
hold-
strength check.
Hold it taut.
This took forever, but I'm loving it.
She's holding her crossbow like close to her chest, just like really scared as she's slowly floating out across the water.
Perfect.
I only got an
Um,
8.
Yeah. So you see, even before Dr. Ford is finished done, Gulliver is pushed already, and so she's like starts floating out while she's still scrambling to tie this thing around her waist. But Gulliver, fearing his own strength and fearing to push too hard, kind of like chimps the push a little bit, just like pulls back a little bit, and so doesn't quite make it. I will say you land right there. So not fully toward the center of the
Okay.
room, but you're hovering there, and you see you are casting light as well, right? You have the light spell on yourself.
On myself.
As the
So where do
As-
I go? Do I go here?
or no, you're not floating.
Dude, you're still
It's
back on
just-
the stairs.
Yeah, you better get
Only
off.
Dr.
Fucking, you better fucking get back on the stairs before you fucking drown. You see the mass is dark in nature with these silvery lines crossing over it. As you float into space, you do see that it is moving in a way that looks almost like it is breathing. And as you kind of come like your floating comes to a rest, you see like an undulation ripples over the course of this thing, and you see something starts to unfurl, and you see within a few moments that you are looking at what looks like an absolutely massive snail-like insect, and it's got its mouth is open, and you see it's got these like little tendril things kind of looking at you. You can't see any eyes or anything, but I wish I had my voice for this. It like you can almost like feel it looking at you and like sensing you. You see the little things start quivering. You hear a low guttural sound. The sound kind of echoes out through the room, and those of you who speak either Alaman or Primordial understand it, and you can hear this like fleshy sound as it echoes off the rooms, and you hear it say, "Have you come to worship me?" Dr. Ford, you don't understand anything it just said.
Did everyone got this?
It echoed
No,
through
no,
the
I'm not
room.
asking
Only
DM.
if you
I'm
speak certain
asking. No,
languages.
I'm asking DM.
Oh,
'Cause
oh.
I'm asking the group basically. Aeris is like, you guys got that right?
I didn't catch it.
He.
Anyone understand
They're,
that?
they're asking if we came to worship it.
Oh.
Just kind of falling into his usual instincts. Dr. Jones just kind of looks at Ford, like, nod yes.
Should I bow?
What does
I'm not
worship entail for this
sure.
particular deity?
Aeris took all of that in and kind of like with this very guttural and I guess bubbling and weird like sounds started coming out of his mouth and he says, how would you like to be worshipped?
This is a good question.
Ask it its
How do you
name.
prefer it? Did somebody say that to ask the name?
I said, ask it its name.
And how would you like to be called? But everyone else is here.
My name? You don't know my name. I'm me, the Lord of Snails. Tazusatsuka! You don't know me. You haven't come to worship me. I will bathe you in my acid.
Oh, that was
Let me see if I
annoying.
can find a photo.
Don't like
of it.
that last line.
I didn't even get half of the words. What the hell was this?
Dr. Ford will look back at you, Aries, and be like, so is it friendly?
Well, after hearing the reaction, Dr. Jones rubs his head and answers in the guttural language. No, we're just not worthy to say your true name. What would you like us to call you?
Snail.
Oh, in that case, the Lord of Snails will be fine. You may start worshipping.
What's your favorite type of worshipping?
Yeah.
Shorty
One
gets to
moment.
his knees.
I did tell the name. I conveyed the name to everyone, whatever that name was. I honestly didn't get it. You were like so into it. I'm like, what the hell was the name?
Oh, yeah, no, I totally fibbed the name because I can't pronounce it. I just said some dumb
great.
shit.
I liked it.
I love it. I
Uh,
I'm
love
sure
it.
it was accurate.
Oh, here. This is what I was. Give me just 1 second. I was just trying to figure something out.
Yeah, good.
Am I?
I am hungry. They used to bring me plant matter. I would feast, but I haven't seen worshippers in years. You see, like it's all of it is like quivering. The words seem to be kind of like coming out from its whole corporeal self. You just see like the flesh is just gyrating and moving, and the tentacles are just moving frantically. It's almost like just like tremoring.
Dr. Ford, it's hungry and it wants plants?
Plant matter. Oh, I might be able to help with this. I'll do that. Although, no, I think. Is there any shred of plant matter in the room that I can see? Like, even if it's under the water? Nah, there's nothing.
You can't see under the
Acid-
water. You can't see to the
acid
bottom
ate
because
it all away.
it's all dark and mucky and gross.
If there were plants, they were probably eaten by the acid.
Because I can cast
Crystal
plant
What?
growth. But
Why?
you can't grow
Why you
nothing. You
come?
have to grow existing plants.
Well, where are my plants? Where's my tribute?
Can it be from a seed?
We're getting it.
Are you asking them?
I'm asking Arabella if the spell can be done from a seed.
Not exactly. Needs to be a living plant. Unless you could grow it very quickly.
Not one of my talents.
Same.
And now Dr. Ford can actually see the creature that she is talking to.
Can I pull myself along at all using this fountain? Like, am I close enough to just kind of reach out and just move a little further?
Yeah,
Kick
I
of
would
it.
say it's within 5 feet. Yeah, I think you can. If you just reach out just enough, you can reach like a little point that's sticking out.
I just figure as this is going on, I'm gonna try to like see a little more of the room.
You see it watching you, with like without eyes. It tracks your movement. You could see like the mouth of it is just like opening and closing, like with like sucking in air. You hear it breathing. You're leaving without paying tribute?
I'm not
Nobody's
sure how-
leaving. We're just moving around.
You see it starts like climbing up the wall as you start moving away. It starts moving as if it's starting to follow you. If you're not here to pay tribute, I'll bathe you in my acid. I'll drown you in the water.
Hey,
Dr. Ford, it really doesn't like you moving away from it without paying the
Oh.
tribute.
Okay, I mean I have no tribute to give. But we can come back. Can you tell it we'll come back?
I do that. I'll be like, is it okay if we go get it and then come back?
You came without payment. You came without tribute. You came to the Lord of Snails empty-handed. It's just a vibrating, just.
Slowly pulling myself.
Um,
About to do like a push off back toward my people as quickly as I can.
while all
You
this
can
screaming
use
is
the rope.
happening,
You can use the rope.
It's true.
Yeah, you can
while all the
just
screaming is happening, Dr. Jones is just like, our previous tribute was melted in the acid water as we were coming in. And then he looks at Gulliver. He's like, get ready to pull her back quickly.
Yeah, based on that response, I would say
Yeah.
pull me.
I'm trying to decide here.
Gulliver's sort of casually keeping his crossbow like knocked, but behind his back.
Well,
Okay.
if it was a lie, because we all know we never brought anything, would be a deception check in order to see if
Yes.
he believes in
Yes.
that.
I'm just trying to think from how it would react for a moment toward like our stuff died. Can we actually be right back? And seeing Dr. Ford flying away, I think.
I'm not flying
Okay,
away
so
yet.
what are you guys doing right now? So Dr. Jones is called out. You said the thing, right? Like you said our
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Can you roll a deception check on that? And then
Nat 20.
Dr. Ford, beautiful.
First roll
Dr.
of the
Ford.
I manifested
Hell
it,
yeah.
guys. I
You
manifested it.
did, you did.
Well
Dr.
done.
Ford, you're floating. Are you gonna start pulling yourself back in?
Not yet. I am gathering, though I don't understand the language. I'm gathering this is like getting heated, and me moving around is causing more agitation. So I'm staying put right now, and not really. Yeah, basically trying not to provoke in any way whatsoever. I'm just trying to stay very still. Probably holding
What
on
you
to the
watch,
statue a little bit.
what you see as you hear Dr. Jones call out in this old, like, guttural language you've already heard a few times used here. You hear him say something. You can't tell what it is. But in response to this, you see this quivering, agitated, fleshy snail, essentially. It stops moving. Oh. I guess that makes sense. And then you see it start squelching side to side on the wall in the direction where the voices are. And you see it start going this way.
He's coming your way.
Well, we said our oh my god, the word came out of my brain.
Aeris, you can see a tiny sliver of it now. Whoops, my bad, I didn't mean to move you. You see it as absolutely massive snail. You can all hear the squelching sounds as it's like moving across the wall. And Dr. Ford, you can also see it leaves a trail of glowing silver, like silvery glowing wisps behind it as it moves. It moves surprisingly fast when it means to go somewhere. And then, without warning, it suddenly disappears. You hear the splunk as it like basically sinks into the water.
Quick question.
Yes.
Have I heard of a Lord of the Snails? Like, is this in my own religious readings? Is this a deity or a creature, like an actual
not heard.
divine
No
being?
one has heard of the Lord of Snails before.
All right.
No one has heard of this.
Well, while he's gone, maybe pull me back very quickly, please.
Okay.
And I would like to help with the pulling back by pushing off the statue.
Yeah. Okay.
You can also pull on the rope too, like as a.
Yeah.
But just adding to the momentum. you
Sure,
know?
sure, yeah.
I see.
Everyone starts pulling the rope. Dr. Ford kind of pushes herself off of the statue, starts floating forward. And as she's in midair with full momentum, the slug suddenly bursts out of the water at the front of the stairs to look at all of you. Dr. Ford, already in motion, squelches into the back of this slimy thing. And you now covered, it's not acidic. It's not burning you, but it is very sticky and slimy, just like snails are. And so you're basically like floating with the momentum, like almost like you're in space and there's nothing to stop you. And you squelch right into the back of the snail. You see the snail kind of like move forward. It like towers over all of you, and then it comes back. Who's going to bring my food? Show me your face, so I will remember you and I won't kill you with my poisonous acid the next time you come this way.
At that point, apologies, my lord, that we all will be going to make sure we bring enough of a sacrifice of plants.
You, Dr. Ford, you're pretty stuck on there. You can
Don't
like
hold
move
that.
off. You're not like, it's not like glue, but
I'm gonna try to like.
exactly. Sticky slime
paw
is in your
my
hair,
way-
your clothing.
I'm gonna try to paw my way around this pillar.
Yeah.
You got
Like-
slimered.
The rope is also covered in slimy cookie stuff, and it is like sticking to you now. And also, if you try to circumvent the thing, you're going to be wrapping the rope around that column as well.
She's gonna sort of lose the rope at this point and just try to like not worry about that at all.
Okay, yeah. You see this giant snail again. It's fleshy. It's like one giant muscle that just like, as it moves and looks around, you can see like contractions and like movement and stuff. It's looking over you, and you can just see the gaping mouth is just kind of looking. It can't see you, but it senses all of you. And when Dr. Jones, when you say, "Oh, all of us are coming," you see like it moves a little bit, and it goes, "Excellent. I like this. All of you worshippers, yes, you will come. You will continue to feed me. This is good. Go bring me delicious algae. I excitedly await your return. The Lord of Snails will be fed again."
Dr. Jones is like, "We're off to do the good work, my lord," and starts walking backwards very slowly, like looking at Dr. Ford like,
You try to
squeeze
take a
through.
step back, and your foot lands on Octavia's feet, and she instinctively kind of like hits you with her elbow. She like hits you with her elbow as you step on her feet. Well, she is planted directly behind you, sketching furiously, writing notes, taking. She is fixated on this thing, and she was not moving, and you definitely stepped on her as you tried to get back, and she's not moving out of the way. She's staying there. She looks at you. She goes, "What the fuck is that? What is that? Where did it come from?"
Dr. Jones just looks at her. He's like, "That is our lord, and we have to go get it food. Please start moving back up the tunnel."
Our lord? Is it a king? A
It's
king of
more.
what?
It's more of a god that will eat us. Now move.
Oh shit! The god will eat us. I didn't know gods eat. What? Why am I whispering? But what are you a god of? She like directs the question at the thing.
Do you understand?
No, because it doesn't speak common.
Good.
It just hears like the common tongue, and you see it move, and then it starts to like slowly try to inch up the stairs a little bit, but it kind of stops. It doesn't fully come out. It goes, "What is that?" This has never seen a feline humanoid before. It's never seen a cat.
At that point, Dr. Jones is like, "It's the newest member of your worshipful." Yes,
Worshippers?
you worshippers.
Worshipables?
Worship.
I like worshipables. So she takes a step back and she goes, "Oh, that's fucking wild." And you see like her sketchbook is full of like close-ups of one of the little tentacle things, like a black hole, like very quick sketches of different parts of the anatomy and stuff, and little question marks circling certain things. And she puts the notebook away and she goes, "Okay, what are we doing now? What's the plan? What are we getting?"
We're getting the hell out of here.
Well, you can't say that because you're stuck outside.
Well, I pulled myself around.
How? It's directly in the doorway.
Okay, well then I'm.
I guess
well, then
you
I'm
stuck.
still there.
Yeah, I guess you're stuck in
I
there.
thought I was gonna try to squeeze through.
Oh, okay. You like squeeze between its body and the wall in the corner? It's like,
Yeah, I
More
mean at this
gun.
point I'm covered in slime, so I don't care.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah,
she's a
it doesn't-
biologist. She's used to getting covered in all sorts of crap.
I
Usually
guess.
actual crap.
It's fucking nasty, stinky shit. So you see it slowly starts to submerge itself back in the water, and you see some of the muck kind of rippling out as it slowly starts going toward the center of the room again.
Can we retreat quickly, please? I want to clean myself off, but I don't want to do it in front of the Lord of Snails.
That seems best.
Does this guy speak common?
Mm-mm. Nope.
I don't think so.
So why are we
Just
continuing to
Yes.
call him
Yeah,
that?
let's How else you gonna call it?
Mr. Snail? I don't know.
Mr. Snail. Well, we don't know if it's a Mister.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's very true.
So
I don't want to
Lord,
examine it further.
The snail?
Lord of Snails is still the name.
You said Lord of Filth?
Of snails.
Of snails, yes, okay.
You trying to get us killed?
I mean, I mean, so, well, I don't know. Something with that. Is he producing the acid?
I don't think so, because having all of this on me, this does not burn. So
Well,
and actually,
Are you protected from acid now?
she wants to try something now that she's covered in Lord of Snail goop. She wants to put her hand on some acid-covered wall, lightly, to see if she's protected from the acid at the moment.
Double the
Um,
acid?
The what?
I said,
there-
or
is there-
double, or you get double the acid.
Do I get double acid damage?
You touch the wall and you hear there's like just a light like sizzling, but you don't feel any acid damage.
Hmm.
But you look and you do see that the acid, that it doesn't play terribly well with the mucus. But the mucus has has protected you a bit from this poison, from the acid on the walls. But you get the sense that it wouldn't last forever. Like if you were in contact long enough, it would eventually like eat through.
You basically
Fascinating.
you need to continuously produce it in order for it to actually like not. Yeah.
She's gonna try to gather it as it's all over her. She's gonna try to gather some of it into a bottle, like into amongst her just general kit, like an empty
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
container,
Kind of like the goo
just in
from
case it's
Ghostbusters.
useful. You
Yeah.
know?
I'm assuming Dr. Ford is the jar collector for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's got a whole bunch of little. It's in the mini actually. I have like little bubbles all over her. But
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Okay,
she
so you
grabs
guys are still in
plants
the
and-
hallway at this point.
Yeah, we
You
gotta move.
hear,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I parkoured over people if they didn't move. I'm like,
Well, Dr. Jones just kind of goes over to Gulliver and he's like, "You see that? Academic work. Always good work. Dirty, but good work."
All right, so what do you guys want to do now?
Yeah, where do you want to go?
so did we all kind of like agreed and deduced that this room basically we were on the other side of it at some point, so we are safe to go somewhere else?
That's
We didn't see. Okay, question, because Dr. Ford lit up or somebody lit up the room. Did we see? Oh, like so the slug was on south of the map, right? And then was there anything on the north of the map? On the other wall, was there anything that we saw?
No, from what I heard, nobody checked the rest of the room.
No.
well, in my dark vision, I could see a wall.
Yeah.
There, so I didn't inspect it that close, but it looked there wasn't like another door or anything that was within my vision.
Big, yeah, like a big significance. Okay.
Yes. If I
Aeris
have
will turn to the
uh,
group and ask, should we check that door that had melody coming off of it?
anything
That
that takes
seems
us
like logical steps.
yes, anything that takes us upward, please. I'm done with
You
this
don't think
water.
that snail was a real god, do you?
Over other snails, maybe.
I think it's a creature that's lived down here a very long time. And I think that may be about it.
Is it immortal?
Mm.
Maybe it is a god.
For snails.
Maybe it will come in as handy ally in the future for us. We know what he likes.
To Shorty's comment, Dr. Jones just goes, well, you'll know that Alder being worshipped all sorts of things.
Gulliver is writing in his notebook about the encounter, trying to get all the details he can from the other adventurers.
Like what was said in the room, who said what.
Yeah, what was said. I guess I could see some of the conversation happening, but probably not all of it. What he looked like, details of the room, details of the creature. Sometimes the gods take unusual forms.
That's very true.
Actually, if you guys want to make a... Hang on a second. I'm getting the right... Looking up my list of abilities to give you the right ability to roll for me. Yeah, if you guys want to give me a religion check.
As a group?
Yeah. See what I might be able to share with you.
Takes us forever to open any door.
It does, really, actually. Octavia has put herself directly next to you, Aeris, And while you're waiting, Aeris and Ford, while you're waiting there, Octavia looks at you and she goes, "I want to go next.
You want to go next?
Yeah, I want to fly
Open the
next. Make me fly."
Oh, I can do it only once a day.
So you
Tomorrow.
can't make me fly. Okay, fine. But I want to try.
Okay.
And all of you guys come up here, I assume.
He kind of blushes a little bit.
Shorty!
Like that was like a lot of attention, and be like, oh, you have a cool stuff. I wanna have it too. And he's like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
shit, because
Mhm.
where he's from his people, that's like a normal thing to do. So for him to kind of acknowledge it as something cool, he's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like Octavia was I misspoke a couple of games ago when I said she was a veteran turned journalist. She's like a war journalist officially, like that's her trade. That's what she was, and she's not in the war anymore. But she's still a journalist. But a lot of the magic that she has seen has been combative in nature, and you don't often see like levitate used in the battlefield. You see like fire bolts and things of that nature. Um, and she also doesn't see it as often anymore. So now when she sees certain magics being displayed, like Dr. Annabella's dispel ward, she usually saw people casting ward, not dispelling it. Or like your levitate, and the cool use of that to like to float Dr. Ford into the room. That's the kind of stuff that she's like, oh, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I want do me next. She's like, she wants to try it next.
Yeah, so he blushed. He's like, oh, okay.
You hear as you kind of leaning in, both of you taking turns. You hear, for the second time, Aeris. For the first time, Dr. Ford. A faint, melodious sound coming from the door. With the dripping sounds throughout the cavern, it's difficult to tell if this is actually someone singing or some sound echoing through the space.
Are those words or just, huh? Can't make it
No
out.
words. No words.
Well, let's get a better listen, I guess. And I want to carefully push the door open, just slowly. Do we start
Okay.
looking past?
Aries
open it
ready
completely, but-
to jump if it's a trap. He's like basically his feet are, what do you call it? Spring like he's on the springs. He's ready to like just bounce off.
You
Shorty is not ready.
you gently twist the doorknob. It does
Where are you going,
open.
Gulliver?
You slowly push forward and the door swings. Ahead of you is a room that is lit by the room is lit by a soft light that reveals a section of what looks like rocky beach. Beyond the beach is a pool of glowing water filling half of the room and framed by a crystal cavern. Green fawns can be seen in the pool. Light seems to flow from everywhere, and the pool and walls glisten like soft moonlight. On the far side of the pool is a set of doors carved with a sun symbol. As you push the doors open and slowly take look inside, you see sitting on the beach in front of the crystalline pool is a woman, she's young and slim with long golden hair and pale skin. She radiates a soft, silvery light even through her shawl, white as the froth of the waves. She is singing a strange melody in an unrecognizable languages. After finishing her song, she enters the water in a long arching dive.
All right. Immediate first question: do we see algae?
You see
Good
ferns.
I know
worship.
you've
You see
I know you
ferns.
described this wonderful scene, and my immediate first question is there ferns? You say? Does that count
Ferns.
Will
Greens.
that be
Yeah,
good
that
enough
counts
for
as
our Lord and
greens.
Savior?
That would be some greens.
There are some greens you see.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Do I recognize the creature at all from what little we saw of her?
Mm-mm. You just see like a cat. All you see is the silhouette of a female figure moments before she dives in the water.
And she's not coming back up, so it's pretty clear she can breathe water.
From the moment that you're standing there, no, you don't see her in the water as you're standing there.
Aeris wants to check if it's acid water.
Okay.
So he would, I don't know, like have a thing that he just keeps poking at things. So like, that's acid, that's acid, that's acid.
Uh,
The stick is slowly getting shorter.
yeah,
Exactly,
pretty
yeah.
much.
As you approach the water and you attempt to stick the your pole in it, out of the water erupts the female figure, and she looks at you and she speaks in Alaman. She looks at you. Her head tilts to the side a little bit, and she has a kind of ethereal flow to her, similar to like how you said your hair kind of levitates. You see, she also has this kind of ethereal, almost weightlessness to her, and you see she, in almost like like almost as if in her words, she is singing to you. You hear her say something in Alaman, but you don't speak Alaman unless I'm mistaken. You don't understand what she's saying. However, Dr. Dr. Jones, and one other of you speaks Alaman, I believe, or is it just Dr. Jones?
I think it's just Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones, you hear her say, "Precious life form, I am sorry that you have come here. What brings you here?" She sings this, and this like really, like, her voice almost sounds like the tinkling of a chime. The way that she speaks is very, very light, high-pitched, and airy.
Dr. Jones will move up and just kind of, I guess, because she's still just kind of like in the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is she fully out
He's
of the
going to-
water, or it's like just
No,
like
she's in the water. She's like coming up out of the water.
Dr. Jones will kind of sit down. So, kind of get to like almost like a level eyesight, and just in his best way of speaking it, because he's not the best at pronouncing in this language. He's just going to be like, it's like we're here to protect knowledge and things that are precious.
She floatingly looks over at you with this kind of weightlessness about her. And again, you hear like almost like the tinkling of chimes as she speaks to you in Alaman. This is the most graceful version of this language you've ever heard. She goes, "Your presence here threatens everything. I don't know how you've made it this far, but it is unfortunate."
He then asks, what do we threaten and why unfortunate?
She cocks her head to the other side, looking at you. There is a question on her face. You see the light from your lamps illuminates her features and stuff. But the light doesn't seem to reflect in her eyes. They are fully blacked out, and you see when she blinks, it's almost like a reptilian double blink. But there is no reflection of light in her eyes. You can't immediately tell that she's looking at you because she has no distinct pupil, but you can see, you get the sense that she's looking at you. Do you not know where you are?
To
She
that, Dr.
floats-
Jones,
She floats over to you. Again,
he answers,
you're just having this conversation in Alaman. No one around you can understand what's happening. So all of you just hear like, you know the scene in Harry Potter where Harry goes under the water and he hears the mermaid speech? It's a little bit like that. Like it's like a sing-songy kind of flowy, wispy sound coming from her. You can't hear distinct syllables. Everything just sounds almost like a whisper. Like again, like tinkle, like the little tinkling of a wind chime. Every time she opens her mouth, you just hear this little song comes out.
He answers, "We suspect we are in the temple of." I don't have my
Namtar.
notes in front of me. Huh?
I'm sorry.
Namtar? But much time has passed since this temple was continuously used, so we are searching for the answers.
It should have been that this place was never found. We should remain resting here forever.
At that he says, "We are not the only ones searching. Those who would follow would destroy and steal. Is there anything here worth protecting that you would like to see preserved?"
When you say this thing, when you say there are others here who would destroy this, she throws her head back and gives a like a bone chilling cackle. I can't do it because my voice is broken, but just all of you are just kind of like hear this absolutely mirthless, like dry cackle reverberate through the space. They would destroy me. They would destroy us. They would be destroyed. There are treasures here that should not be found, and you cannot have them, and they cannot have them. Shorty, make me a perception check.
Meanwhile, Shorty's just like, I'm gathering algae.
By the way, Dr. Ford is like enamored by this creature. It's absolutely.
I tried to pull up a
spellbound.
photo, but I don't have an actual
Yeah.
photo of her.
22.
Gulliver is
Eh,
sort of excitedly writing as fast as he can in his notebook about, everything he can observe about this conversation and this creature.
Oh, okay, here it goes.
Aeris
Although he
forgot
doesn't
that
speak
he
the
went-
language.
Aeris forgot that he was checking the water. He just kind of, whoa, and trying to.
22 is
and-
the roll.
I heard.
yeah, he would-
I got the 22.
Aeris also will try to see if he will recall in any of the temples mentioning protective creatures of different, like, because this is a temple, so he's visited a lot of them, and if there's if any of them were mentioning like guardians or like things like that. I don't know how else to put it
Yeah,
in.
yeah. I won't make you roll. I will say, and this is something for anyone who busies themselves with this kind of information. It is common knowledge that sacred shrines had guardians, like keepers, people who would mind the space, but also any locations that were important. Um, uh, there were protectors that were buried with the shrine.
Mhm.
What is unusual is that these people are not buried. They're alive. You walk into room after room, and this shrine has been gone missing for maybe since the shattering. Maybe this is 1,000-year-old space. The language is 1,000-year-old. The creatures speak to, like a 1,000-year-old creatures and stuff. So far, no concrete information, but these creatures are all alive and they're all sentient. They're all reacting to you, and so far they've all been pretty hostile. This is not the first time you're hearing, you shouldn't be here.
And one more thing, being from like a primal plane heritage, would he try to guess if this creature is from like elemental planes,
It
or
is
like
not.
nothing
It
looks
is
like it.
elemental. Um, Remind me what elemental planes. Is that like all the planes? Any
No,
other plane besides this one, or is
no, it's basically so there's a material plane, then there's
right?
elemental planes,
Right.
and there's basically a water plane, then there's separate is the fire plane and
I see.
separate
Okay.
air plane.
Got it. Got it.
So
Got
it's,
it.
they are kind of on the same
But this isn't the same
plane,
as
but
like
they're
the
separate.
Underdark or the Fae or like those different
Kind
kinds
No.
of planes.
kind of it's a different plane of existence, but they're just elemental, like where
I see.
yeah.
No, the this creature isn't familiar to anyone who is familiar with elemental planes.
Cool, that's it, that's all I
Um,
had.
all good. However, get out of here. If anyone wants to make an Arcana check, they can.
Sure, I'll do that.
Trying to decide if Dr. Ford would be too distracted to think straight
11.
right now.
11.
No, Aeris is very like
Alright.
captured by the unusual
Yeah, you guys are amazing.
Materians.
Yeah.
So he's
That's
trying to figure it out what it is, and he rolled 2, which is a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Distracted.
3. I heard 11 was the highest. Dr. Jones, are you rolling an Arcana check? Please, since you are the one directly communicating with it.
Yeah.
Are you still having computer issues?
No, I was just looking through my notes.
Okay.
Let's see, Arcana.
I love the
Oof,
outfits.
10.
The outfits are great. Dr. Jones and Gulliver, I think, who rolled the 11?
Yes, I rolled the 11.
Yeah. You recognize that there's not only is there a sense of otherworldliness to this creature, there is a sense of fae about this creature.
Hmm.
Fae magic, fae arcana.
Mm.
Fae-ness. She's giving
Fae-ness.
off fae vibes.
Mm.
And on your 22, Shorty, wake up over there. On your 22, as the conversation is happening between Dr. Jones and this creature that has come up from the water, you look around, you see that Aeris is in rapture. You see you see Gulliver is kind of taking notes. Dr. Ford is also very, very engaged in this. You start to look around at the room in general, and you see beyond the room, beyond this immediate interaction, you do see for a moment there is some movement in the water far out toward the doors. Gulliver, as you're standing there looking, as slowly as it starts to occur to you, like I think she might be Fae. You hear in your ear, "Do you think she's Fae?" You turn quickly and you see Octavia is like in your ear asking you this question, leaning over. This conversation is happening. You see she is there, she's floating, she's taking in all of you. She's cackled as you said that someone would try to kill this place. And she looks at you as you finish saying what you're saying, kind of just, you're just like talking forward. She laughs and you just keep saying that there is someone who would look to take what is here and destroy this place, and you're here to protect it.
Shorty kind of like nudges Dr. Jones' leg. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, he walked up a little bit and stood right next to Dr. Jones to give him a little nudge.
Dr. Jones looks at him. Yes, yes.
He looks worried, like he has a look like worried and looking at the water, like he's seen something, but he just looks scared.
Dr. Jones is just like, okay, just be prepared. And then he turns to Dr. Ford. Dr. Ford, can you come closer, please?
What? Oh,
You pull her out of her reverie.
what can I? What is it? And she's right behind you.
Dr. Ford just, Dr. Jones just asked Dr. Ford, can you reach out to the creature? Just extend your hand for a moment. Then he turns back to her, and he's like, my apologies. I was so enthralled in our conversation. I forgot to ask you your name. And can you sense anything from my companion here? He's hoping that the creature will sense, because you're a half elf, right?
I am an elf. I'm actually Fey ancestry elf.
Ah, perfect.
So
That's what he's
elf,
hoping,
elf.
that
Yeah.
that she will sense the Fey ancestry in there.
Fair. Yeah, I'll hold out a hand. Hands shaking a little bit.
She sees Dr. Ford. We'll say that the Shorty kind of takes a step to the side to let Octavia come forward. Not Octavia, Dr. Ford. And Dr. Ford holds out her hand. The creature doesn't respond, doesn't move to take a hand or interact at all. She kind of is floating there and she looks at the hand and then she looks at Dr. Ford. And there's a quizzical look on her face. But she doesn't react. She just observes and takes in. You sense, however, that connection as you get close. But it isn't elfish as you know it today. It is something it isn't fey as you know it today. It is something archaic and ancient in nature, almost unrecognizable because it is so old. It is almost different, totally different.
Did Dr. Jones, when he said to Shorty be prepared, was it said quietly or is it something that everyone could hear?
Well, you were standing
he
to
would-
his other side, but
He would have said it quietly, though. He doesn't want to elicit any kind of
Yeah. I just was thinking like
reaction out of Shorty.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
say it quietly and calmly, like, just be prepared. So you said she just had a quizzical look on her face.
she's basically like floating there.
I have
But
an
she's not
idea.
volunteering anything without. She's not just like coughing up information or she's still assessing and taking you all in. There's still you can sense a level of curiosity, almost amusement that you are here in her space.
Dr. Ford will look over Dr. Jones, or just not even look over, because
She's
like
ping-ponging.
he can't break eye contact from her. But we'll just say, are we still trying to win her trust?
Yes, she doesn't seem to fully acknowledge the danger that the others pose, but she doesn't also seem to fully believe that we are here to help. She sees us more as a... Yes?
Tell her about the Cabal. Tell her in greater detail. And as she says this, she's going to hold out a second hand, and she's going to use a little more shape water cantrip fun. She wants to, on the surface of the water, create the shapes of soldiers who are destroying things. And basically try to match that with Dr. Jones explaining the danger in more detail.
Visual aid.
while also kind of being like, hey, look what I could do. I'm a magical person who can manipulate water.
I love it.
Maybe
Visual
maybe
aid.
this will kind of get your attention a little bit. Like, it's So that's
So-
what she's going to try to do.
So Dr. Jones will start kind of reiterating all of the things about the Cabal and also explain in what he hopes will be kind of like the thing that, one of the gods is missing, and they're trying to do everything they can to preserve everything until said god reappears or rejoins the rest.
She hears this. She sees the water storytelling thing. A deeper sense of amusement seems to come over her as she sees you interacting with the water. No amazement or profundity. There's no like ooh. There's a sense of like almost like a how quaint like energy here as she sees this. She listens without breaking any interruption. She listens quietly as she watches this little water war happen. You finish explaining the Dread Cabal and the situation and the fact that Namtar is missing. Again, you can't exactly see her eye movements don't give her away because of pupils, but you can see the way that she looks. You can almost feel her attention on you, but you can't clearly see exactly who she's looking at. But you can see her head move down, her eyes kind of. You almost kind of feel like she's looking at your mouth as you move, listening to you speak. You finish. There is a solid beat, a prolonged, like almost like a pregnant silence. It's full as she processes this.
7.
15.
Amazing. She reaches out and very gently, she places just her fingertips on your hands, because you had them out holding things, I assume, or whatever. Aeris, you feel for a moment as if the air has involuntarily kind of escaped your system, almost like a light gut check. You feel this air, but you are able to recuperate the air. Dr. Ford, however, Dr. Jones, excuse me, you feel all of the air exhale from your body. And no matter what you do, you cannot breathe in. She sees you, Aeris, resist the ability to resist her touch. And so she stands up straight and spits in your face. And she spits. She touches both of you.
What's the... Yeah, but like after can I react to this or?
Yes,
Like,
but
I felt like it hurt me, so I would react to that action.
yeah. So she hears like she basically hears the involuntary like the involuntary inhale, and as you inhale, her head whips at you, spits in your face, and she spits blinding acid at you, and you suddenly become blinded by this thing that has just covered your face. And I would like everyone to roll initiative, please.
Ooh,
Is
baby.
there any resistance saving throw for the acid? Or no?
It's an attack to hit. If it hits, it hits.
Sometimes there's
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure the action economy
Just
here.
got a
She did
sweet-
like 2 things in one turn.
She did more than 2 things in one turn.
That's why I'm asking if I had a chance to do something before she spit in acid.
We can still
Okay,
say
Jones
that.
is first, but Jones, you can't. What are you doing?
Again, I don't think Jones would be able to do anything at this point.
Okay, so she used her turn. Gulliver, that's you next.
Gulliver takes out his axe and yells, "That's my thesis advisor!" and goes into a rage.
Okay,
That's the best rage entry line I've ever heard.
I
I
love
think
it.
so
I
too.
love it.
He still hasn't looked at my paper.
We can
Seriously.
hear you. Push the button to talk, please.
Yes,
Who's
so
the
I
mo-
am gonna thank you very much. I'm gonna roll on the magic table.
Oh boy,
Sorry, this takes me a sec.
Ooh, nice.
you get a fumf.
Nah,
A regular fump just
I would
appears.
love a flump. I would love a flump so much.
They're very distracting.
They're so cute
What?
though. Flumps.
What? What is that?
I'll show you. Can I show
Are
you?
you gonna show me? What are you gonna show me?
Flumps,
Actually,
flumps are
I'll
the
show
best.
you.
Okay, 2. I teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space I can see. So what I'll do is I'll so right now I'm like here.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just tell. This is like we found out that this is acid, right? Like this water stuff.
We didn't.
No, the water. No, the
No.
water. You didn't. You don't have confirmation.
You don't have confirmation, or we know that it isn't.
We do not know anything about it.
She,
All right,
as
got you.
sorry, as Aeris was approaching it,
The
Dasa.
thing came out, and I just that's it.
Gotcha. So it doesn't look like Gulliver really has room to access the Fae with his axe, so he's gonna have to just like transport right to her side. He's like raising up his axe, does like the blink
one
thing
quick
right
question.
before he hits it down.
One quick
Yeah, what?
question. Does teleportation? Do you choose where to teleport to? Is this like something you can control, or are you
Yes.
automatically to some random point?
Yes.
Okay,
I
cool.
can control. And I
Is
can
it a
do it
choice?
once this effect again on each of my turns as a bonus
Okay,
action.
cool. Oh fuck yeah, go for it.
So
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
it is a
Dude.
choice. I choose to do it. I wouldn't have chosen to do it because I'm sure I'm going to take damage here, but it doesn't look like I have room to actually like access. So he raises up his axe, does a quick, or it says the thesis advisor thing, like tendrils of white energy kind of like encircle his body, and he blinks right by her and brings down the axe.
Okay.
Smash!
Yeah, roll for it.
Do I take damage from the wherever I
Not
am?
immediately, no.
Okay.
So you roll to
Still
hit.
don't know if it's acid. Still don't know.
20 to hit.
That hits.
16 damage with the additional rage damage.
Oh yeah, that's so 16 total.
It's a hell of a shot.
Yes, 16 total.
Hell yeah.
And then,
Um,
what were we gonna say?
go for it.
He raises up the axe again and keeps cleaving.
Yeah, no, go for it.
23.
Hit.
This one's just 8 damage.
Incredible. 8? It says
Mhm.
6. Are we adding
You
something I
add
didn't know
you
about?
add 2 for rage.
Cool.
It's the rage damage.
Fuck yes. Yeah.
That should be my turn, I believe.
Yes. Okay. Aries, you're blinded.
hmm
What are you doing?
So, Ares is blinded, but he still can hear the commotion.
Mm-hmm.
He will try to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming disadvantage
Mm-hmm.
since blinded.
Yes.
2 dice. Here we go. So the lowest, and then what is my attack? Where is it? Okay. So he's gonna do the 3-section staff. So he kind of will,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then attack is math hard. 13 to attack.
13 just hits.
Just hits. Lovely. Sorry, I forgot how monks work. 1 second.
Oh, good. We're all figuring it out as we go.
It's been a while. Okay, so if it hits, I'm gonna spend a key point and try to do a stunning strike.
Mm-hmm.
So con saving throw DC 14.
Fuck yeah.
So he feels that he hit at like a good point. to stun
That's a
it.
15 on the die. You
Yeah,
said it's
okay.
DC 14?
Yeah, so it saves, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's been
Yeah.
a while.
It's made it.
Another attack.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like he hits under like gets that he didn't hit it hard enough in the point, tried to hit the same point to stun it. We'll see if it hits first. Oh wait, I didn't roll damage because it did hit.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Because you rolled
Yeah,
8. Well, you said
13
13
to
and then
hit.
right.
13 to hit, but then I didn't roll the damage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought you said
Um,
8 for some reason.
No. No, I had +8 to my attack, so I was calculating.
Ah, okay, perfect. Yeah.
So I rolled 6 plus 5, 11 damage.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Okay,
You
so
see,
second hit.
as you see this hit lands, and you see this damage, you see in just a few moves, this woman has taken a massive amount of damage. And so, and you see the water around her starts to tremble and shake. Go ahead and start to your next
I didn't
attack.
see anything because I'm blind.
No, that's true. All the rest of you see the water tremble and shake.
I feel the water tremble and shake. I don't know why.
Mhm. You hear it. You hear the water rippling and splashing.
Guys, I rolled because I have to roll with disadvantage. I rolled 3 and a 20. It's such a waste. Okay, 3 plus 8. 11 to hit.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. We'll spend a key point to do flurry of blows. So I'll just hit it a lot. I'll try. So this
That's
is
what Monk's all
kicking.
about.
Doesn't hit. I rolled a 2. Another kick. Another 2. Okay, I this dice is not doing. That's it. I'm out of action. I'm just all spent and I'm like it's EG.
She's taken a serious amount of damage in a short period of time. She puts up her hands. She says, "Wait." In Alaman. Dr. Jones, you feel air return to you. She goes, "Wait."
Dr. Jones is like, and he looks up, and I guess the one person he has to yell "wait" at is Gulliver. He's like, "Wait!"
Probably me too, because I'm blinded. I don't know what's happening.
Are we out of combat?
Momentarily. I will hear you. And she's like bleeding, like little trail. You see her blood is like a semi-transparent, slightly iridescent liquid that starts seeping out of all of the places where Gulliver's axe has fucking ka-chunked into her fucking flesh. Tell me more about this.
At this point, you see Dr. Jones is just like, you know when someone has finally stopped running and they're like, finally, he's doing that. He looks at Gulliver, he's like, she's willing to talk some more. Do not put the axe down. Because now he's a little bit like temperamental. You see him unholster his pistol. And then he starts talking again. again reiterating that the people who are coming are in greater numbers than we are. We are the smaller resistance to this evil, and seeing the damage that we can do, does she now understand the danger that everything here and her are in? And this time, instead of saying it in a nice, polite way, he has an edge to his voice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She looks at Gulliver and at the rest of you all in turn, and it seems like she's weighing her options. You all hear the forming of water, and you see turning around behind you. You see the giant shape of a person made from the water appears. It is absolutely massive, and it moves up behind her. She goes, "I am not as weak as I seem, but your strength is more than I gave you credit for." Always in this tinsely little voice. "I cannot say all that you would want to hear. I am bound by certain things, but I can tell you that there are things stored in this temple that are stored here for the world's protection. And if you cherish the lives you have now, you should leave this place and not seek any further."
Is she speaking common?
No, she's speaking in Alaman.
Cool.
At this point, Dr. Jones does translate for everyone to hear, and then basically looks around. What shall we do?
I don't believe this shrine is capable of fending off the threat as confident as she seems. I fear for her safety. I fear for the safety of all down here. Is there a way that this place could be entirely, truly walled off
Or sealed away.
or sealed away? Ideally, not with us inside.
Certainly.
Dr. Jones communicates this to her.
The protections that were available were to hide our location and to stock this place with its protectors. I am a protector, as are all the other individuals you may meet along your path here should you proceed. Those are the protections of this place. And I realize now that perhaps even that was not enough.
To that, Dr. Jones makes a face, and then he asks her, "The gentleman that turns into bats, is he one of these protectors?"
The Locust? He is one of the most powerful protectors here. It is his sworn duty to make sure that nothing leaves this place alive.
At that, Dr. Jones thinks, and then he says to her, "Well, we forced him to run away, and again I tell you, those that come behind us come in greater number and will pose far more of a threat."
What do you want from me?
A way to seal off this place that you claim holds something that should never be revealed to the world, and an exit because we did not enter here through normal doorways as you would have it.
The exit is far from here, and I cannot tell you all the things that lie between this place and the exit. And I think this place is too large to seal up in such a way as you would suggest.
If that is the case, then we must move the items.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest if you were translating, it's kind of like maybe now there's a better places to preserve this stuff rather than here.
I fear there
you
is
say
no
anything?
better place. There is no... I cannot fathom a more secure place than here. But I have been here for many, many years.
The world changed. There's things that could be done to preserve it better than this. I don't
mean,
know.
we
If you
got
were
in.
translating, I would say it. I
Her
realized
her
that.
head is like bouncing back and forth between all of you as she's like kind of floating there. You see the wounds that Gulliver created are slowly starting to stitch themselves up again.
Gulliver is still breathing heavily and kind of tweaking out.
Can she maybe get us through that door so Gulliver can direct his energy?
He's like roided out, just ah.
That rage
Oh,
is
yeah.
a minute. Yeah.
At this point, Jones just goes, "We must continue." And he looks directly at those doors.
At this, you see this giant, absolutely massive frame of a man in the water takes a step forward, rests a massive hand on her shoulder. She says nothing, but she kind of moves aside a little bit. Do as you must. My life is forfeit, but I let you pass.
Shorty is surprised to see that the thing he thought was, gonna be a problem in there is huge. You said he's big, right? He's huge.
He's big as that token. He's fucking huge.
Dr. Ford will tap Dr. Jones on the shoulder and just say, if you can translate one more thing, just tell her, for what it's worth, Ninusag, my goddess, has told me we must move through this place with urgency. I don't know much more than that, but urgency was very clear.
When you say the word Ninnersog, you see she immediately snaps at you to look at you. She doesn't understand anything else you've said, but that word gets her attention very sharply.
And seeing that, Dr. Jones quickly translates.
She looks to the side and she goes, but you said Ninnersog was missing.
And he translates again.
And also you might have noticed when you said she was missing, Dasa did not respond, did not react, did not seem surprised.
Just say, if she is missing, I can still hear her. Though I do not know where from.
Again, he states this while also stating this is one of her clerics.
She looks you up and down, Dr. Ford. And she holds out a hand to you.
She'll reach a hand forward and carefully touch her hand to hers.
She like moves her hand away. She like bats your hand away, and then she puts her hand back out.
What is it? What does she want?
Dr. Jones asks, "What are you asking for?"
She doesn't say anything in response. She just keeps looking directly into Dr. Ford's face, holding a hand out.
Can I tell what she's
plan?
looking for? Do I have a feeling what she's looking for?
Well, you told her that you're the cleric, right?
Yeah.
You're a cleric of Nenersog, and she holds a hand out to you. You can roll an insight check if you want, or I think insight is probably the best if you're trying to do like in tune what reading her intentions for this.
Before I roll, I won't hand it to her, but I will pull out my the gem, my holy symbol, basically, to just show her the holy symbol.
And this is the symbol that you received, right, from this person, from
Yes.
yeah. You don't give it to her. You just hold it above her hand.
I wear it. It's a necklace, so
You
it's
don't take
normally
it off or
tucked
anything.
in.
You just show her.
No, I just show her. That's not coming off my neck. No way.
She sees it and responds, and you see her slightly webbed, slightly reptilian-looking hand reaches out, doesn't quite touch it, but you see there is a sadness on her face. A thoughtfulness, almost a longing. She doesn't say anything. And she just steps back.
Shorty asked for some ferns.
The ferns are on the walls and stuff.
He still
Why
thinks
don't
he
you-
should ask.
Yeah, he's like, dude, if you don't need those, can we have it? Is that what you? Is that you?
Can I have a sample?
It does seem polite to ask.
What do you do?
Gulliver's gonna help by secreting the ferns into a bag that he has on his waist that seems to not really like deform or change shape at all as he puts the ferns in.
So you just walk over to a wall and start ripping ferns off the wall?
Just work with Shorty, and if he has too many to carry.
Okay.
Scientist, man.
Ford and Jones. What do you do?
Dr. Jones is gonna look out into the water and look back at her. He's like, "Can you clear a path to the doors?" Because he's still not sure how deep that water goes, and he doesn't want to find out with an acid bath.
At that, the giant water figure dissolves into the water, and you see the water separates, creating a path for the water. You see the floor and the area in general in the space doesn't seem to be corroded by acid or anything.
Before I step forward, Dr. Ford's gonna step back, and she's gonna hold her symbol and close her eyes and try to very quickly, and she may not get anything, but she's gonna very close her eyes and just ask in her mind to her goddess, like, is this right? Like, should we move forward? Just looking for like a yes or no, and she might not hear anything.
You reach out to Nenersog from your necklace, but instead of hearing, seeing, or sensing, feeling, experiencing any kind of connection to Nenersog, you feel a connection instead to Namtar. And Namtar gives you the confirmation that you're looking for.
That's very confusing to her. Yeah, she looks. If anybody sees her, she looks like chilled to the bone at that, because she's never the whole thing about her past is she's never been able to connect to Nemtar. Her family can, and Joey's tried and failed, and Nindersog was the first god or goddess to be able to connect to. So that's blowing her mind. But she looks scared, but she looks kind of resolute and like, okay, just tuck it away and be ready to move forward.
Dr. Jones is slowly moving towards the door. He looks back at her and he goes, "This is the right thing," and continues walking.
Is Aeris still blind?
No.
Oh no.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, his vision got back, and he just saw the creature, and he's just like doesn't see anyone fighting. He's just like, so he was holding like the staff ready, and then when everything was subsiding, he's just like, okay.
So we're pushing through.
Yeah.
And,
Slowly walking.
yeah, I'd say Dr. Ford is almost like power walking to the door. Like I'm done wasting time. I've got to go. I got multiple gods now telling me like go
Go.
So she just tries to open the door, I would say.
Before you lies something of a kind of a larger great hall. This hallway ahead of you is 20 feet wide and has piles of rubble and debris scattered along its length. The walls are covered with frescoes which have been dilapidated and eaten away by the acid. The south walls display scenes of battle between natives and invaders. The north wall depicts people questing for new land. Their experiences during the journey include crossing treacherous mountains, sailing over storm-tossed seas, and receiving the guidance of the gods in their battles to keep their homeland free from invaders. And that's what you see as you start to make your way down the hallway. And as you make your way toward the end of the hallway, which I see none of you have done. Also, let me cancel this combat here. Yes, I wish to cancel the combat. You see ahead of you there are stairs that go back up. And just at the top of the stairs, you can make out bronze doors. And you see, so you see the doors at the top. And I think this might be a good place to put a pin in the game before we open the next door. And you guys have to deal with more tomfoolery. And so we'll put a pin here, and we'll resume next time.
Did I take damage from that acid, or was that acid?
There's no
water?
acid water. There's no acid in the water.
Just
Amazing. Love it.
You probably
Yay,
cleaned all the
water.
acid off your boots.
But you all do take 3 points of poison air damage.
Not me.
I was
3?
going to ask this. Everyone does this besides fucking Shorty. Shorty, you're the healthiest one at this point. You've seen those around you perpetually taking little hits of damage and having to heal themselves, but in the back of your mind you must know that like the healing supplies and abilities of the group are not forever, and you're the only one who could potentially stay down here indefinitely. What's happening? Is Shorty processing this at all? Like, is Shorty thinking about this as he's seeing people like kind of slowly start coughing a little bit here and there, was wheezing, maybe some of y'all starting to sound like me with like dry raspy voices and shit?
I mean, he sounds he sees like everybody's kind of like definitely slowing down a bit, little by little, kind of acting a little. I mean, he's not exactly thinking about it. I think he knows that he feels like they're just not comfortable there. He's he has no effect. He's not affected by it. He has no idea that it's fucking going on. He knows that something's not right, but he just doesn't know all the specifics. And he's kind of along for the ride, kind of, which is funny because he should be the one. He's gonna be the one maybe making decisions now if people get too damaged. So that's the irony of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What's your health, Shorty? Are you at full?
I'm at 41 out of 42.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And hasn't
But
taken
it
much
looks
damage
like
at all.
Aries
think
and
He took some
Gulliver
damage, then he
I
healed
think-
up.
yeah.
When
Yeah.
he rested.
Yeah, my token needs to be updated because I'm at 24 of 39.
Oh, update that shit.
Oh,
What's your
yeah.
token?
Yeah, I'm at 19 of 38. I want to use some uses of my healer's kit as we're here, if that's cool. I got 5 uses left.
Mhm. How long does it take
Wait,
to do
what's-
that?
So I have a
Healer's
medic kit.
Oh, you
Yeah.
have
So
medic
and
kit.
because I'm actually so normally a healer's kit, all it can do is stabilize someone if they're at 0. But if you are a trained healer, if you have that feature, you can actually use it to restore some hit points. So
Really?
I
Are
can
you
do
talking medical kit or herbalism kit?
a healer's kit.
Healer's
But you need
Oh,
the
nice.
feature.
like a proficiency
it?
with it, yeah.
You need
I think it's a
healer's
feat,
healing.
right? Yeah.
Healer's
it's a feat.
healing is a feature,
Oh.
and it's the healer feat. And with that, it
Yeah.
says you can use an action, restore 1d6 plus 4 HP, plus additional. Oh wait, I didn't read this before. 1d6 plus 4 plus additional HP equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice.
Mm.
I missed that. So we're all
That's
level 5.
nice.
So it's really 1d6 plus 9.
I'm asking because I play a cleric in a
super
different campaign.
wow.
I'm like, ooh, that is cool.
And when we take a short rest, it replenishes. But between short rests, that's the most I can. I have 10 uses of it. But I can use that for some of you. Don't die. Oh no, Dr. Jones died. So yeah,
Ooh, I'm
once you're
excited.
get your health set, but I want
So
to
this
give this
medikit
for
can actually be used. It replenishes. It's not a supplies-based thing.
That's according to my thing. What does it say?
Does it
Or
sound
is it?
like I thought like a medikit was like a supply, like something that you use
Yeah, yeah.
and then you have to acquire more of.
Or never mind. It's sorry. I missed half
Con-
that sentence. It
consumes-
says
yeah, yeah.
the creature who's getting healed can't regain health from this feat again until it finishes a short rest. The kit itself has a finite. It has 10 uses.
I see.
So
And you have 5 of those 10 left.
Yeah. So I would like to use certainly one on myself and one on Dr. Jones, and
How
I'd
long
like to
does
save
it take
the
to do
others if
this?
that's okay. It's one action, so
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
technically 6 seconds if we're in
Mhm,
battle. But
mhm.
yeah. So roll a. Do I roll a d6 or do you roll a d6?
Kind of like in 1 minute, you restored a little bit of everyone, or well, whoever you.
Yeah. It says. I don't know who rolls. I guess I roll. Doesn't say who rolls. I'll roll a d6.
Well, you healing, so I guess you roll.
Yeah. So 12. So I rolled a 3. So that plus 4 plus the 5. So 12 points of health back to Dr. Jones and to me.
Yay!
For 2 uses.
Aries, make a
And-
perception check for me.
Aries, I was gonna
Perception.
do that for you as well. Because I feel like Gulliver, do you need? Oh, you're down a
Yeah.
bit too.
Uh,
I'll use 4
Let
then.
me
Then we'll have 1
see
left.
how much.
You get 12 back. if
Okay,
you
that
need
puts
it.
me at that's one
I rolled it-
wasted, but it does put me at full, which I think
What'd
is
you
good.
That's
I rolled
fine. That's
the
worth
12.
it.
Yeah, that's worth it.
That way
As
we're
you're standing
basically all
there,
almost back to full.
you see Dr. Ford pulls out a kit, and you start watching as Dr. Ford is doing this kind of magic, and then you hear in your corner, "Boo!" as Octavia surprises you from behind, sneaking up on you without you noticing. That is
to
1
be clear,
point
I'm
for
not doing. Let's say to be clear, I'm not doing magic. I am actually.
No,
healing
but you're
people
like
with-
you're
with
like you're creating a
bandages and stuff.
pumice and you're doing healing
sure,
stuff,
yeah.
right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's all pretty cool stuff. And so maybe Aries was just like, "Wow, this is pretty cool," and it
I'll
gave
be like,
Octavia.
that's really fast. to like make and apply. I'm like, I've never seen it done that fast.
This is
Yeah.
the practical battle medic stuff that she.
Yeah.
She was a soldier, so this is what she used to do on the battlefield.
Yeah, he's used to like monks like healing in temples and stuff. It would be very like slow and whatnot. Nothing
Mhm.
like in battle fast like bandages, whatever, like pull
Mhm.
up ointments and whatnot. So that was cool. And I guess
Yeah.
he was distracted. I'm assuming.
Yeah. And Octavia comes and says, "Boo!" And you jump just a little bit, and she goes, "Aeris 0, Octavia 1." And then she proceeds to go over to stand next to she walks over to Shorty and then rests her stump arm on his head. Like he's like she just kind of starts leaning on him like this with her stump arm just kind of like waiting on him.
Waiting for the door to open.
Aeris, when she jump scared him, he did like go for his sword really quick and then relaxed and kind of like tried like to fix it back in on the strap or whatever. So he's trying to kind of like act cool, even though he was jump scared. He's just like, okay. He didn't say anything, but he gave the look was like, okay, game on.
Okay, we'll put a pin in it here. I have set this as the default viewpoint for the next time that we jump on. Set view position is going to be here. So we can call
Good
it.
session, guys. Good session.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what you guys think of the session? How'd you like it? Thoughts?
Oh, I thought we're gonna do the introductions at the end.
Oh yes, please
Yeah,
introduce
we gotta
yourselves for
remember that.
our fans. Please do. We'll start with Bryan and then E. We'll do counterclockwise. So to Bryan, E, Tamara, then Michael and Bueno.
There are millions of adoring fans. I'm Bryan Cardillo.
Speak it into
I'm
existence.
playing... Hey, I just keep willing it.
Manifest it.
Bryan Cardillo. I play Dr. Arabella Ford. She is a Eladrin elf cleric of the lost goddess of nature, Ninur Sag, and she's tired of breathing poison air.
I am Esteban Moya. I play Dr. Walton Jones III. I am a human variant ranger. Also very, very tired of breathing poison air.
Tami?
I'm Tami. I'm playing Aeris Cloudwalker. He is a monk of Way of Shadows, and he's Air Genasi, who walk into the dungeon holding air and had to give it up for crab, and now suffering breathing poison with everyone. Ah, that was nice. Because as we found out, he can't hold breath indefinitely, but he's still holding a poison air indefinitely. So yeah, also tired of poison air, and I'm as a player very greedy, so I'm really excited to see what treasures we can find. So Aeris, he does want to find them, to preserve, to just get it away from Cabal, but he's also really wants. He's getting like the group rubs off on him, so he gets more confident that he meets Cabal, he really wants to meet them. He's racing, but he's also kind of like partially wants them to show up to just kick the shit out of them or drown them in acid or whatever. So
Michael?
All right. My name's Michael Thomas Carter. I play Gulliver Prendergast, a graduate student and studying under Dr. Jones, studying the history and practice of magic. He is a wild magic barbarian seeking to learn more about exactly how all that works. And you know, he's right now he's sort of coming off a nice rage high and hoping to maybe get to smash something that's alive.
Bueno.
And I'm Jonathan Bueno. I play Shorty Rotundo, a halfling who does not have to worry about poison, gladly. And that's it.
Bro, your level? Anything? Nothing?
Listen, he is a sidekick, friend, and you would say companion to Dr. Walton Jones. Level are we at?
You're all level 5.
Seems
Level
cool.
5.
Well, look at that.
I
We're all level 5.
Adi. Yes.
Oh,
I
please.
shepherd these incredible players through my deadly dungeon. I am your storytime DJ and a disembodied head in a black void. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Maybe some of us will be in person. That'll be exciting.
Should be fun. See you in a bit. See you afterwards.
See you after work.
See you after work.
See you after
See you
work.
after work.
See ya.
Funny, I didn't work